You are in war, but not against the world. The real fight is in you. Your mind is either your strength or your weakness. Your body is either your ally or your prison. I didn't become Bruce Lee by accident. I built Bruce Lee. I was frail. I was frail. I was questioned. I was informed that I would fail. But I never embraced limitations, and neither should you let me give you lessons that will change your view of yourself forever. People tell me, I can't do this, I can't be that. But who told you that? Where did those boundaries originate most of the time? Boundaries do not exist. They are beliefs, unseen chains you impose on yourself. You are not too weak, too slow, or too late. The only thing holding you back is the idea that you can't go any further. Every time you say, I can't, your mind hears it. It builds a wall around you, and slowly but surely that wall becomes a prison. But listen to the truth. There is no wall there. There is no prison. You have the key to unlock yourself. Start small every day. Push a bit harder than yesterday. If your body is tired, do one more rep. If your mind is saying to stop, take one more step. If fear is saying to quit, face it head on the moment you push past what you thought was possible. You show yourself that limits are an illusion. Comfort is the real enemy. It whispers, stay where you are. It's simple, but the people who listen to comfort never grow up. They stay the same year after year. If you want to be strong, if you want to be powerful, you need to become uncomfortable. You need to venture into the unknown. You don't need to take a huge leap today, just one step and another. Because once you start shattering bounds, you realize something. There are none people spend their whole lives following rules. They never question, obeying traditions. They never understood and believing ideas. They never question, they accept things the way they are, since that's how they were taught. But have you ever taken a moment to ask yourself, is this truly the best way? Most people fail. Not because they do not try, because they are wasting their energy on non-serving things. They are clinging to ideas, habits and systems that were never meant for them in the first place. They try to fit into another's shape instead of shaping their own. I never blindly copied one martial style. I took what worked for me from each art, boxing, fencing, Wing Chun, wrestling, and turned away from what didn't. That's how I constructed Juno, and that's how you must construct yourself. The world will try to tell you what to think, how to act, and who to be, but you must filter everything. Take what is useful, discard what is extraneous, and construct to something that is uniquely yours. So how do you do this? Start off by observing what you consume on a daily basis, the books you read, the advice you follow, the habits you adopt. Are they really making you grow, or are they keeping you stagnant? If something is stunting you, let go of it. If a habit is weakening, you get rid of it. You must be ruthless in pruning what doesn't serve. Your path tomorrow. Seek knowledge from anywhere. Do not limit yourself to one way of thinking. Learn from other civilizations, other disciplines, other ways of thinking lives. Learn from the teachings of warriors, thinkers, and masters throughout history. Each glimpse of knowledge is a tool. The more tools, the better you can shape yourself, finally create. Do not simply copy what has been done. Do not simply walk the path that has already been taken. Build your own create, your own voice, your own way of thinking, your own philosophy. You are not here to be a copy of someone else. You are here to be the best version of you. Most people waste their lives being copies when they were meant to be originals. But the ones who exceed the ones who make a difference, these individuals of this world, are the ones who absorb, discard, and create fear, is the greatest liar you will ever meet it. You are not prepared that you are not good enough, that if you try, you will fail. And so most people listen. They hesitate, they hold back. They wait for the perfect time, a time that never comes. But here's the thing, fear is not real. It is a thought, a speculation, a deception manufactured by your brain. It has power only if you want to believe it. What happens when you fear control you, you stall, you hold back, step aside, and gradually your world narrows. The things that you ever dreamed of are way beyond you. You start to convince yourself, maybe I wasn't meant for more, but that is a lie. Do you know what fear actually is? It is a signal, a sign that you are on the verge of something amazing. Fear does not equal stop, it equals. This is where you become amazing. Every amazing thing you desire, confidence, mastery, strength, success, is on the other side of fear, but you will never arrive if you continue to run away. Observe a child learning to walk. They fall and fall and fall and fall and fall and fall. They don't cry about it. They don't give up. They don't think maybe walking isn't for me. They go on until they master it. Because failure does not come to a child. They do not fear it. They learn from it. But because we are afraid of being stupid, afraid of making a mistake, afraid of losing, but in reality, the only failure is not trying at all. The greatest warriors, the greatest mentors, the greatest leaders, none of them did it without failure. I never became Brute Lee because I never failed. I became Bruce Lee because never allowed defeat to keep me down. Each time I fell, I got up again, smarter, stronger, better. So what do you do first? Stop fearing defeat. Expect it, accept it, accept it. Every time you fail, you are on your way to mastery. Each time you err, it teaches you something. The only people who never err are people who never take risks. Cry. Second, confront fear. Do the things that scare you. Talk. When your voice shakes, move forward. When confusion has taken over your head, train. When your body feels like giving up, the stronger you tread into fear, the weaker it becomes. Soon enough, you'll realize it was never real. The first place, and lastly, keep this in mind, that this fear is temporary, regret is everlasting. If you allow fear to hold you back now, years down the line, you will look back and wonder, what could I have been? What could I have been? What could I have done? And by then, it will be too late. So do not wait. Do not hesitate. Run towards your fears, shatter them. And when you do, you will discover something incredible awaits you on the other side. Your true you. Your body is only as powerful as your mind. Dictates it to be the best warriors in history weren't just physically strong. They were mentally unbeatable. They could endure pain, push past exhaustion, and fight through impossible odds because their minds were trained for war long before their bodies ever saw the battlefield. Most people condition their muscles, but they never condition their thoughts. They lift weights, but carry weak beliefs. They hone their bodies, but allow their minds to remain ignorant. And when they encounter strife, they see grumble not due to a physical weakness, but because their minds were never learned to withstand affliction. Your mind is a tool, and just as any weapon must be hammered, fashioned, and annealed, the first step toward educating your mind is acquiring domination over your thinking. Most people are ruled by their own negative thinking. They tell themselves, I can't do this, I am not good enough. What if I fail? These are toxic thoughts. Every time you allow yourself to think this way, you get weaker. You need to replace these thoughts. Positive beliefs. Every time your mind tells you, I can't You tell it, I will figure it out. When doubt comes your way, you remind yourself, I am stronger than this. You must rewire. Thinking, turning fear into fuel obstacles. People let their mind be scattered, jumping from distraction to distraction. They waste hours on useless information, scrolling endlessly, consuming garbage that makes their mind weaker. Instead of making it stronger, a warrior does not waste time. A warrior trains his focus like a blade, sharp, precise, and unstoppable. How do you do this? Start by clearing out distraction. Your head, read books that improve you, surround yourself with ideas that confront you. Nourish your head with strength, not weakness. If you cannot control your focus, you will never control your future. You need to also practice your toughness. A weak head gives up when things get hard. A warrior's mind pushes through. There will be days you wish to give up, when pain becomes too much, when gold seems too distant. This is where your training is tested. Will you shatter or will you continue? Pushing on the key to build resilience is simple. Do difficult things daily. When you do not wish to train harder. When your head tells you to give up, push harder. When fear tries to hold you back, step forward regardless. Every time you do this, your head is stronger. You are harder to break. And finally, you must possess unbreakable discipline. Motivation is weak. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline is mastery's secret. It is standing up and doing something regardless of how you feel. It is doing something instead of making excuses. Uses progress, not comfort, and purpose, not pleasure. Discipline is a skill you don't have in your DNA. It is something you build one day at a time, one choice at a time. Every time you come, every time you won't quit, each time you push past hurdles, you're conditioning your mind to be unbreakable. A warrior is not made in a day. He is tempered through fire. Combat and struggle. Your mind must undergo the same process. Sharpen it, toughen it, prove it. Because in the end, the most powerful tool you will ever have is not fists, not body, but mind. And if you know how to utilize it, there is nothing in the world that is going to hold you back. Water is the strongest force in the world, not because it's powerful like the stone, not because it's rigid like metal, but because it's adaptable. It can be any shape. It can be soft enough to slide through your fingers, but hard enough to erode mountains. It can flow with patience or hit with force. This is how you need. Condition your mind and body. Do not be stiff like a rock that shatters under pressure. Do not be rigid like a tree that breaks in the storm. Be like water, always flowing, always changing, and always unstoppable. Most individuals oppose change. They desire things to remain the same. They hold on to what they know because it comforts them. But life does not. Life doesn't care about your comfort. Life will throw challenges your way. It will change the rules. It will nudge you in directions you never anticipated. The weak panic. They grumble. They wish to have things like they used to be. But warriors do not fight against change. They adjust with it. If water is blocked by an obstacle, does it stop? Number? It does not. It seeks a way. It goes over, under, around, or through. If you wish to be powerful in life, you must do the same. When something fails, do not waste energy struggling with reality. Bend. When life forces you, don't break under pressure. Go with it. Find a way ahead. The strongest are not those who stay stagnant. The strongest are the ones who adapt, modify, and govern. No matter what happens, there are some people here. Be water, and they take that to mean being meek, being weak, just rolling with whatever happens wherever life goes. But this is not what it means. Water isn't weak. Water is one of the most destructive forces in the universe. It sweeps cities, cuts through rock and freezes, so powerful it can break steel. Having water doesn't mean surrender. It means to know when to be soft and when to be tough. When the context demands waiting, be soft, move slowly, flow gently. When the context demands action, be a storm, strike hard, crash through everything that is in your way. A strict person cannot do this. They know only one way to react, but a warrior who is water can take anything. They know when to wait, when to move, when to strike, and when to disappear. Like mist, most people end up trapped in their own mind. They think about only one way to succeed, one method of doing things, and when that method does not work, they shatter. This is the reason why you must train your mind to stay open, to look at things from 100 different views, to know numerous ways, to never restrict yourself to one technique. I never did one school of martial arts. I took the best of them all and developed something new. If one method didn't work, I discovered another. I did not allow my mind to get rigid. You have to do the same in all things in training, in thinking in life. Never assume there is a single way. Never allow your mind to become stiff if something is not working out. Change your approach, adjust, become formless, and you would never become trapped water. Does not always flow softly sometimes. It becomes a storm war. Sometimes it turns into a tidal wave and destroy all that falls in front of it. This is how you must be when your time is there, when you are doing it for a cause, when you are striving to achieve your target. When you sense your chance, don't hesitate. Don't give in. Move like water. Overcome obstacles. Gain the upper hand over everyone who stands in your way, because once you are water, nothing come in your way. If there's a boulder in your path, you don't break, you flow through it. If a problem blocks your path, you don't give in, you wear it down until it breaks. If you are met by resistance, you don't retreat, you punch with force. And that is the reason why water always overcomes. Because it never stops flowing, it never gives anything a chance to impede it. And ultimately, it always wins. If you wish to conquer your mind and body, if you wish to be made unbreakable, you must master the art of being like water. When things get difficult, flow over the obstacle. When things do not fall into place, mold and change. When you have an opponent, strike at the appropriate moment. When there is an obstacle in front of you, go over, under, around, or through. When you see your chance, grasp it with the force of a tidal wave. Most people are either too mellow, and life gets to bully them, and life gets to bully them, or too tough and crumb up under pressure. But you're going to be different. You must know the fine line. The world can't stop water. And when you become water, the world can't stop you. Self-control is the boss of everything. It is the power that makes the difference between the weak and the strong. Ordinary, the dreamers and the doers, most people fall, not because they are not talented, not because they are not potential, but because they lack discipline. They live on motivation. And when motivation fades as it will, they cease, they give up. They fall prey to weakness. But discipline can't be broken. It doesn't depend on how you feel. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't make excuses. If you are a master of discipline, then you are a master of everything. Motivation is like a spark. It glimmers briefly, but then is gone. Some days you will wake up and feel like conquering world. Other days you will be drained, demotivated, and need to slack off. This is where discipline comes in. It does not care about how you feel. It does not ask, do you feel like training today? It does not wait for the right mood. Discipline is coming when no one is watching you. It is waking up early. You want to sleep in. It is doing the hard work when your body hurts. It is pushing forward even when everything inside you is telling you to quit. Most people let feelings guide what they do. They say, I don't want to work today. Eat tomorrow. Tomorrow it's too hard, and so they just stay where they are. They never grow, they never realize their potential, but the successful ones, they do it, regardless of what they practice. Even when they are tired, they labor. Even when they do not feel like doing it, do something, even when doubt whispers in their ear, because they understand discipline is not what you wish to do presently. It is what you desire the most. Each day you have an option: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline hurts waking up early when you don't want to, forcing yourself to your limits, saying no to distractions, choosing effort over comfort. But regret, looking back and realizing you wasted time. Regret is seeing opportunities you might have had but didn't seize. Regret is knowing you had the potential to be great, but you let it slip between your fingers because you chose comfort over effort. Discipline is not easy, but regret is end. Discipline is not something you're born with, it's something you build. And the only way to build it is to get hard every day. Begin small. Every day, do something that makes you uncomfortable. If your mind tells you to quit, keep going. If you want to quit at 10 reps, do 12. If you don't want to do a task, do 12. If you don't want to do a task, it anyway. Discipline is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. And before long, things that used to seem impossible will become second nature. You will wake up early without question. You will train hard without excuse. You will overcome obstacles without fear because you conditioned yourself to act, regardless of weakness, is always looking for an opportunity to take over. Starts with little things, skipping one workout, delaying one task, coming up with one excuse, and before you know it, weakness becomes your boss. Discipline is the only way to snap it when your mind declares, I don't feel like it. Discipline orders do it anyway. When excuses arrive, discipline slams on the brakes. When distractions try to take you off course, discipline keeps you steady on track. Weakness is a disease, and discipline is the cure. The more self-discipline you have, the less excuses you have. The less excuses you have. The strongest people don't conceptualize self-discipline in terms of have to. They see it in terms of who they are. They don't speak of having to train. They speak of being a warrior and training what I do. They don't say you have to be hard working. They say I am disciplined. I don't need motivation. I do things when discipline is a part of your character. You do not struggle to stay consistent. You just do it because that is who you are. Most individuals think that discipline is confinement. They think it is living a difficult, joyless life, always challenging yourself to do things that you do not wish to do. But this is not discipline. It is the ultimate form of freedom. When you discipline your body, you are free from weakness. When you discipline your time, you are free from chaos. When you discipline your actions, you are free from regret. Weak people do whatever they like in the moment. They let their emotions rule over them, but they end up slaves to their weaknesses. Disciplined people master themselves. They are masters of their mind, body, and destiny. And because of that, they are really free. If you learn the art of discipline, you can anything: strength, success, confidence, power. All of this is based on discipline. Don't wait for motivation. Take immediate action. Don't make excuses, obliterate them. Don't be controlled by weakness. Be stronger, because ultimately discipline is the difference between winner and loser. If you want to be unstoppable, unshakable, and truly great, make discipline your master. Your emotions are powerful. They can propel you onward or paralyze you. They can make you great or make you weak. The distinction between a warrior and an average person is mastery. Most people are slaves. Feelings, they overdo everything. If they are angry, they strike. If they are sad, they resign. If they are uncertain, they resign. They allow feelings guide their actions and not choose their actions, irrespective of their emotions. But if you wish to conquer your mind and body, if you wish to turn unstoppable, you must learn a single thing. You must master your emotions, or your emotions will overwhelm you. Most people think control. Emotions is all about repressing, denying they exist. That is not the solution. You are human, and emotions will always be there. The goal is not to be emotionless, but to be the master of your emotions and not their slave. A warrior does not deny fear, anger, frustration, or pain. He feels them, knows them, but doesn't let them dictate his decisions. Anger can ruin, but it can also sharpen you. Fear can paralyze, but it can also sharpen in you. Pain can break you, but it can also make you stronger. The difference lies in how you use them. Most people exist in reaction mode. Something happens and they instantly react with anger, fear, or frustration, but warriors don't react. They respond. When someone insults you, don't get angry. Keep calm. Weak men get angry. Easily strong men control themselves. When you fail at something, don't react with frustration. Learn from it. Weak people get emotional about failure. Warriors learn it and come back stronger. When life throws obstacles to you, don't react with self-pity. Adapt and move on. Weak people complain. Warriors adjust. A reaction is emotional and out of control. A response is cool and calculated. Be the master of your response. Response is anger. Is one of the most dangerous emotions. It can make you reckless, make you say things you don't mean, make you lose control in the heat of the moment. If you let anger get the better of you, it will kill you. But anger is also energy. If you can tap into it, you can apply it to fuel your focus, your discipline, and your drive. The secret is to redirect anger, not suppress it. When you feel the sense of anger building, do not blow up, utilize it. Direct it, channel it into training. Channel it into discipline. Channel it into action. A warrior's anger does not make him reckless. It makes him more sharp. Fear is something your brain tricks you into believing. It makes things seem worse than they are. It makes you wait. It makes you stay in one place, fearful of moving to the next. But the biggest secret about fear is this: once you venture into it, it disappears. How many times have you been afraid to do something, only to find later it was never as bad as you thought? Fear only has power when you avoid it. The only way to conquer fear is to confront it head on. If you are afraid of speaking out, speak out more. If you are afraid of failure, fail faster and learn from the experience. If you are afraid of pushing past your limits, push harder. A warrior does not flee from fear. He steps into it and destroys it. Pain is something that every human being must go through. Physical pain, emotional pain, the pain of loss, the pain of failure. But pain is not your enemy. Pain is a test. Weak people, pain break them. They complain, they quit, they seek means of escape. But warriors turn pain into power. Every great warrior has trained in pain. Every great commander has failed and suffered before. He succeeded. Every strong mind has been tried by adversity. When you face pain, do not run away from it. Sit with it. Learn from it. Let it make you stronger. A warrior does not ask, why is this happening to me? A warrior asks, how can I use this to build you? Will not always want to train. You will not always want to work. You will not always want to work. You will not always be motivated. But this is where discipline must be stronger than emotion. Weak people say, I don't feel like it, warriors say. I do it anyway. This is the distinction between those who become great and those who remain the same warriors. Do what has to be done, no matter how they feel. If feelings attempt to divert you from your goal, stay focused. If your mind attempts to rationalize, move forward anyway. If doubt creeps in, remind yourself who you are and why you started. The strongest men aren't those who lift the most weight. They aren't the ones who fight the best. They are the ones who have mastered themselves. If you can control your emotions, if you can make the choice between discipline and feelings, if you can use fear as fuel and pain as power, then nothing can stop you. Most people are prisoners of their feelings, but warriors rein themselves in. And when you rein yourself in, you reign over everything. Every single day, you make a choice on who you are, how you live, and what type of person you become. Most people don't even know it, but their actions, their habits, and their way of thinking are molding their future right this moment. Some people drift through life without direction. They wake up, do their routine, and allow life to happen to them. They blame situations, they blame others, and they feel that they have no control over where they wind up. But a warrior does not think this way. A warrior knows that he alone is in charge of his path. He knows that who he becomes is not to luck, not to fate, not to anyone else. It is to him. The question is, who are you becoming? Nothing in life happens by accident. The strongest minds, the best fighters, the most disciplined people, none of them did that by luck. They built themselves. Every workout you get through, every book you read, every challenge you overcome. These are all bricks in the foundation of your future self, but the opposite is also true. Each time you skip each workout, you choose comfort over effort. Each time you let fear hold you back. These are also bricks, but they are building a weaker you each day. You are choosing between two. Use the strong, disciplined, unstoppable. You, the weak, lazy, excuse mode version. Which one are you giving many people? Say, I will be different one day, someday. I'll be stronger. Someday, I'll be disciplined. Someday, I'll take life seriously. But someday doesn't exist. It is an illusion. The only thing that does exist is now your future self. The man you dream of being isn't made later. He is being made in this moment, right now. Everything you do today is either bringing you closer to him or pushing you away. Keep waiting. If you keep delaying, you will wake up one day and realize that someday never came, and by that time it will be too late. Weak people wait for someone to arrive and turn their life around. They wait for motivation, for the ideal moment, for someone to guide them. But warriors own their path. If you are not where you ought to be, it is your job to change it. If you are not as capable as you would like to be, it is your job to practice harder. If your life is not where you want it to be, it is your job to make a change. Nobody is coming to rescue you. One is going to do the job for you, and no one will be bothered about your excuses. The world does not reward excuses. It rewards action too. Many people spend their whole lives based on what other people expect of them. They tread the path that society lays out for them, choose professions, beliefs, and lifestyles from what other people believe is proper, and then one day they wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and don't even recognize who they are. You must ask yourself, am I living life my own way? Or am I living the life other people see for me? If you are not on your own trajectory, you are living someone else's dream. Instead of making your own, a warrior doesn't search for approval. He doesn't ask for permission. He chooses his own path and follows it with conviction. At the end of your lifespan, you will glance back and observe the choices that you made, the brutal reality No one else will be held accountable for them aside from yourself. If you are strong, it will be that you chose to be strong. If you are weak, it will be that you chose to be weak. If you are successful, it will be that you chose to do something. If you are full of regret, it will be that you chose to stay in one place. The choices you make today are creating who you are going to be tomorrow. If you want to be a war warrior, decide to be a warrior. If you want to be disciplined, decide to be disciplined. If you want to live without regret, make the choice to act now, because in the end, the greatest fight that you will ever have to fight is the fight for your own destiny, and the only person who can achieve it is you. I was told I was too small. I was told that I would never succeed in Hollywood. I was told I could not succeed, and yet here, I am not because I was lucky, not because I was extraordinary, because I did what others would not. You want power, you want mastery, you want to control your mind and body, then recall, destroy your limitations, soak, discard, and make fear nothing in particular. Failure, train your mind like a warrior, be water, flow, and break discipline. Above all, master your emotions, choose who you are. The greatest battle is not with the world, it is with yourself, and you must win. If this inspired you, like the video, share it, and subscribe. Your path to mastery starts now.